Okay, page 4, moving right along. So this question, how many x-intercepts does the graph h of x equals negative 3 times 5 to the x have? Well, I used my graphing calculator for this, and you have a function that looks something like this. Really, there are none. 0. So somewhere on your answer key it says none or 0. One of those two, I can't remember. Next one. Oh yeah, and if you look on your graphing calculator, the numbers will get so close to x being 0, but no, it's just, they get tinier and tinier. Okay, the next one, f of x equals 2x over x plus 1. Find f of 5. Just plug in 5 for x. So 2 times 5 over 5 plus 1. That's 10, 6, which reduces to 5/3. I don't spend a lot of time on those. This next one, this is another composition. We've done those this year. Given the function f of x equals 3x minus 1, find f of x plus 2. You have to plug x plus 2 in for this x. So you'd have 3 times x plus 2 minus 1, and then solve. In order to save time, I think I'm just going to move on. So the next one, find the common difference and the next 4 terms of the arithmetic sequence. Well, we talked about that in the first video. To get from 10 to negative 5.5, I'm adding 4.5. 4.5 again, plus 4.5 gives me negative 1. Negative 1 plus 4.5 is 3.5. 3.5 plus 4.5 is 8. Then I get 12.5, 17, and 21.5. And to advance in the circuit, locate the 5th term. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. The next two. See, find the average rate of change from t2 to t5 for the velocity function v of t equals t squared minus t plus 10. Well, rate of change, let's see, we have change of y over change of x. It's one way to look at it. So if t equals 2, and I plug that in, I would get 12. And if I plugged in t equals 5, then 5 squared minus 5 plus 10 would give me 30. And I need the average rate of change. So I'm just going to do that, the slope, the average rate of change, that would be the slope. So let's see what, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'll just do 30 minus 12 over 5 minus 2, which is 18/3, which equals 6. There we go. Because that's the rate of change. Rate of change in this case is our slope. So what number C completes the square? This is from Math 2. To find C, it's b over 2 squared. Okay, so if b is 8, because remember ax squared plus bx plus c, this gives me 8 over 2 squared, which is 16. The last two on this page, let's see, find the volume in cubic inches of a cube whose surface area is 54 inches squared. Well, here's our cube. Not perfect. Doesn't have to be. Volume equals length times width times height. We have 6 sides on our cube. How did I figure that out? I know it's a bad thing to say on a video, but I'm looking at my work and thinking, huh, okay, so if there's 6 sides and the area is 54 inches squared, and all the sides, they're the same length, so 54 divided by 6 is 9 inches. So one side then would be 9 inches squared, okay? Because if I added all the 6 sides up, I would have 54 inches. So 54 divided by 6 is 9 inches squared. So if one side's 9 inches squared, how do I get the length? Well, there we go again. Hi, Deku. Let's open this program back up. And there we go. Yeah, it's back. No, it's not. I thought it was. There we go. We're back. And so the length in this case would be 3 inches. And I'm sure there's another way to do it. I actually probably would do 54 inches equals x cubed. No, that wouldn't work. No, I like the way I did it. So the length is 3 inches. Find the volume. Well, volume is length times width times height. That would give me 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Okay, so there's my volume. But I kind of had to undo it a little bit to do it back up. And then the last one, solve for y, just multiply the 1/5 through. So this would give me 3/5 y minus 2/5 is greater or equal to 2. Add 2/5 to both sides gives me 3/5 y equal or greater or equal to, oh wow, 2 plus 2/5. I'm going to go ahead and fix this a little bit. Because I want to be able to add these together. 2 is the same thing as 10 over 5. Now I have, this gives me, I'm going to have to do it over here to the left. I'm sorry about that. So I have 3/5 y is greater or equal to, let's see, 10 plus 2, that's 12/5. And then I multiply by the reciprocal. You just flip it. So I multiply both sides by 5/3. So that goes away. So y is greater or equal to 4. And that is that video.